All right, we are live here getting started with day 3 of our beautiful 5-day sale experience. I hope that you all are loving it. I know I am. I'm having a ball with this information. I love the feedback I've been getting from you queens and letting me know. A lot of you have inboxed me letting me know a lot of information is like really changing your whole mindset and allowing you to expand yourself a little bit more here and get visible, get more confident, and make more money, obviously, because that is your focus here of building your legacy of time and money freedom. And so these last 3 days has been really about these 5 pillars. Today is the third one, pace. So on the first day, we talked about connection, and connection was all about your connection to yourself is also the connection to your clients. If you don't know yourself, if you're not hyper aware about your emotions and your thoughts, you can't be there fully for your customer or your client. And yesterday we talked about the rhythm, and rhythm is your actual flow, your flow, your unique sales process, something that you can go back to, something that you can do consistently to make 5 figures or more a month. All of us have our unique way to bring in the money, okay? You can't do what I do, and I can't do what you do. And that's where it takes some digging, exploring, and we can figure it out here together for sure, especially during the mastermind, the 4-month mastermind. That will be a great opportunity for you to dig way deeper for that. But today we're going to be talking about pace. And pace is actually the strategy of the timing. There's a specific strategy on when you should go in for the sale, okay? And then tomorrow will be about the synchronization, really reading from your client, understanding the words that you shouldn't use, or their trigger words that make them cringe or get them upset or make them happy. Synchronization is also handling the objections, knowing when, how to push and when to pull back. And then lastly, on Friday, we're going to be talking about chemistry. Chemistry is so dynamic and so powerful because I think we as definitely service providers don't talk about it enough. Is when you got to stand in your power, and when you got to deny people in your programs, and when you got to say, no, I'm going to refund you the money. I just refunded someone money today, because honestly, they were doing some unfortunate cyberbullying in our group, and they were doing some cyberbullying outside of it, and she had paid for an intensive with me, a 90-minute intensive, and I had to refund the money because I didn't feel comfortable supporting someone that does that. So money doesn't speak everything, ladies, and I don't want you to be so desperate in your business that you feel like you got to take every dollar. I have turned away thousands and thousands of dollars because energetically there was something wrong with it. So just know that it's a very important topic we're going to have on Friday, closing off this 5-day experience, so that you can truly stand in your power, share your truth, and build that legacy that you're looking for. So today is all about closing of the sale. And, like I was saying, timing is everything. It's critical. Some of you can go too soon trying to close the sale, and then sometimes we can go too long and we miss that mark. We miss the opportunity to bring in. I would like for someone actually to share, if you know of a time, just off the top of your head, when do you feel like someone came at you too soon, or did you go out too soon with them? Do you have an example of something like that? And what was those feelings that you had when you experienced that, if someone's willing to share? Hey, Tracy. Hey, Felicia. I just saw you ladies come on in. Eve, go ahead, Eve. I'll unmute you.
Oh, so I had someone, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So I had someone that wanted to do a JV partnership with me, but I hadn't really built a relationship with that person. And even though it's a JV partnership, it's like you still have to sell that person on, what you're offering, who you are, and what you're representing. And I didn't really know that person very well. I mean, I had done a little bit of research about the person, but he wanted me to come out to a speaking engagement. He wasn't paying for any speaker's fee or anything like that, but he wanted 50% of everything that I earned. And he wanted me to come to the speaking engagement without paying me any speaker's fee. And I was just like, I mean, you know, honestly, if it was like Tony Robbins or like Les Brown or somebody that was super reputable,
credibility, right?
I'm all over it. But he had no credibility with me.
That's right. It's
so
critical.
It just was like, no, why do I need to pay you to be at the event?
Yeah.
Like,
no, great example. Thank you for sharing that. And as you were even sharing that, I thought of another great example of going too fast too soon is how many of you ladies have experienced where someone basically friends you on Facebook and immediately they inbox you with their links to their group page and their business page, and they're like, hey, I got a book out there too, you want to look at this too? It's like, whoa, hey, I just met you, like I don't know you from Adam, okay? Right? I don't know you. Like, don't come at me like that. So we can go too soon, ladies, and we have to be very careful of that. We can get very excited about our products or our services, and we want everyone in the world to know about it. And go ahead.
I just think that's funny that you brought it up because, like, one of the things that I used to do, and this is what I used to do, because first of all, I haven't been in business that long.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are not in business that long, I like the Maya Angelou quote where she says, you know, when you know better, you do better. And so I didn't really think that it was a big deal, but like when I would add people as a friend, I would add them to the group and let them look around. Yeah. And if they didn't like the group, then they could leave the group. But normally 99% of the people stayed. But that because of that 1% that was like, well, you didn't even ask me if you know, I wanted to be in your group. I stopped doing that because I was like, it still just doesn't feel right to me, even though like most people don't really have a problem with it. I want to make sure that everyone is served in the best way possible. So I quit doing that because I don't need to add people that way.
No, you don't. You can get them organically to find for yourself or be referred by their friends. Let it be on other people, right? Like how I had all you ladies add your friends, you know, on one of the group. It's more, it's better rapport that way because now they know you and they saw that you added them to a group versus me adding them to the group. It's a different,
it's that social proof. Mm-hmm. And so it was just amateur error.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't spammy. I wasn't trying to be spammy, but I just didn't really realize that would be.
Exactly. We all have to live and learn, right? I mean, we've all made a mistake when it comes to our customers, with our clients, with our business. None of us are, you know, and we're going to keep making mistakes actually too. So we've made mistakes and then there's going to be mistakes to come, you know, and that's the thing. It's about owning it, right? It's owning it, saying, hey, I made a mistake. Sorry. You know, when you realize you did something wrong to someone, I'm sorry. Simple. It's like, and let's all move on, right? But Felicia said, what about a customer coming at us really fast and quick and you try and match their energy and then they ghost? Yes. Okay. That's a good point, Felicia. Yes. Go ahead and unmute yourself and explain that more to the group. Let's talk about that. That's a good point.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I was thinking about like, usually the times that I do start to feel like maybe I'm going fast, I'm like, I'm trying to match their energy. So they're like,
you're like, hey,
all this information, like, you know, what can I do to get started right away? Blah, 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 you know? And I'm like, I give them a tip or two, right? Something simple. And that would, you know, reap results.
Yeah.
But yet, you know, I'm like, okay, so, you know, they sound like they really want results and really want it fast. So it's like, okay, let's get started.
Yeah.
And, you know, here's that contract I'll send you, you know, and here's the link to, you know, after you sign that, pay and things go away.
Yeah. It's like, whoa, where'd you go?
Like,
what happened?
Yeah. And I'm like, I thought you were all about this. Like, I was geeked and like, you got my energy all high and now you just disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah. A lot of times that is the mindset piece too, from not you, but from on their end. It's just, you know, they start double, triple guessing themselves. They're like, I don't know, cold feet, you know, a lot of stuff.
Yeah. And I get it, right? Because even as a customer, you get that way, right?
That's right.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just, just that.
No, it is. I think it's a great point. So it does happen, and all we can do is follow up, right? That's, you know, one thing as a pro marketer would do is don't if they go ghost, maybe follow up with them a few times. Like I said last night, I'm not going to tell you like the sales guru say got to do 3 times. That's it.
Yeah.
You know,
True.
you got to, that's that synchronization. You got to fill out your person that you're talking to. You know, there's been times I reached out to somebody 5 times and on the 5th time they booked, you know, or reaching out a 2nd time and they booked, or, you know, it's not a number, but never put yourselves in a box.
What would you say also with, like, oftentimes people hear about you and then they just want to be your friend?
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, you know, when I was first getting started, yeah, you want to be friends with everybody, right? Like, you're just getting started. And then I started thinking to myself more recently, like, this one person from, you know, a group, a PCOS group.
Yeah.
That I was in, and, you know, I was sharing some tips in there, and she immediately friended me and then started trying to talk to me through Messenger. And then we talked a little bit, and then we kept trying to schedule some kind of discovery call so I could even see if she was really a match or if I felt like I could even help her.
Yeah.
And, like, she was really flaky there. And odd excuses came up too. Like, it was like, oh, you know, I'm on vacation in Mexico, so, like, our time difference is odd. And I'm like, okay, when the heck did you even get to Mexico? Because as far as I knew, you were still in the States, and, like, you know, so I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah.
But they give me these dramatic things too, like, usually as to why they can or can't do it, you know. I mean, stuff that totally, you know, you're like, okay, that could be real, but then you wonder, like, are you making that up for the purposes of like, and then how are you trying to be my friend? Like, do you want, is that okay? You want to stalk?
Well, you know,
I mean, I get it.
I think the circle, I think, like, when someone sees someone that they really want to learn from, they, like, you know, they'll follow them, they'll want to be their friend just so they can just dig deeper, I guess, you know.
Right. Hang out, be in their energy.
Yeah, be in their energy, get a feel of them. You know, it's always that no like trust factor that I've been saying almost every day on this call, is that you got to just, that people are wanting to do that. And so they're kind of like, you know,
let's connect.
Real vision. I got you in that. I'm watching you, because they kind of want to book you or, you know, your services, but they're just kind of watching now, and they're doing their own little processing in their own mindset most of the time.
Right. True.
But no, that's good points. Good points. I love it, ladies. I love the feedback on that. So let's get over to, let me do this here. There we go. Let's still talk about this whole timing thing, because timing, you know, it's not just the fact of you closing the sale. It's also the fact of the content that you put out there. I really want you to think about this going back to day one, and or even some of this pre-work, actually, that when you was identifying your ideal client, when you was figuring out your niche of people and where are they? You know, all these things. Are they working? Are they a full-time entrepreneur? You got to know these things, because the posting that you do as an online marketer is a specific timing that you can reach them. You know, if you go after a 9-to-5er, you know, in the middle of the day, you know, at 3 o'clock trying to reach them, you're going to reach a small pool of those, because those are the ones that's, you know, at their desk in that Facebook, you know. But, you know, there's a lot of people that don't have that opportunity to be doing that all day on social media while they're working. So you want to get them at those key moments that you know. And typically someone that's working between 7 a.m., 9 a.m. is the best time to get them. Between 12 and 1, obviously, that's that whole standard lunch time. And then towards the evening, when they're kind of dialing down. But I also want you to think about the strategizing of even offering your products and services, the time of the year. Okay, this is really, really critical. So think about in terms of my health and wellness coach. I know Felicia's definitely one. You know, these 3 months are golden. Okay, I've lived it and breathed it. I know it. January, April, and June. Okay, the reason why, you know, January, we all know why, right? That's pretty common sense. April is that whole spring, like, man, I want something fresh in my life, you know, that whole thing. And then June is like, man, I feel like crap. Everybody out in their shorts, their tank tops, and I feel it look like crap, right? So people around June-ish, they start thinking about, man, I want to get better. And so maybe a health and wellness coach can kind of meet them around in that time. But you got to know your own peaks around your niche and your business, so that you can truly negotiate your products and services and strategize for the whole year. I don't want you to be throwing products up in the wind just because. I want you to look at a calendar year, you know, from January to December. Okay. Start doing this for 2018. Look at these months and pick out the times that you know your product is going to be booming. Okay. And then you got to fill the gap a little bit more in between it with maybe some master classes, other things. My business coaches, fourth quarter, man, oh man, you will blow up fourth quarter because you got all these aspiring entrepreneurs or an entrepreneur that's been struggling all year long. And they're like, holy hell, what am I going to do? It's October and I ain't hit none of my goals that I want to. And so they're like, oh my God. And if you're out there showing up around this time of the year, business coaches or mentors or service providers for entrepreneurs, this is for you this time. And of course, the first of the year, just because, you know, they want to start the year off with a bang and have the right support and such like that. Then my my product people, you gotta really pull up around this holiday season. Okay. You got purses and shoes, galores and whatevers. And this is your opportunity now between now and January to like boom with your products, because now we got everybody buying gifts for everybody in their life. And you probably have a product that they want to buy for their family or their friends. So these are things that you have to keep in mind. Strategy, strategy, strategy. And the reason why I am stressing this because I went for 3 years of these 6 years, almost 4 years of these 6 years not strategizing like this. And I could have did better. Now, I did still make 5 figures and everything because I know how to market myself. So you can still be like kind of all over the place but still a good marketer and make money. Or you can be, you know, a great marketer, you know, vice versa. Like you can lose one piece of the stick and still make money. But man, isn't it beautiful when you have all of it put together, when you got a strategy and you know how to market yourself? Whoo, it's like a, you know, outpour, right? And so I want you to think about your year. This is the time. That's why I'm doing this program, the Mastermind program, because this is a great way to get you started for 2018 goals. Okay. This is all strategy, everyone. This is not just something I put out my butt. Okay. I thought about this already. I thought about this way before at the beginning of the year. I said, I'm going to do something towards the end of the year with the wealth aspects of things. And so this is part of my strategy. So, so that's what I want you to do as well. Now, what does it take for someone to even close a deal? You know, today we're talking about this pacing, the timing, strategies of this. What is the, you know, reason someone even buy? So, but I just saw a message come in from Eve. She says, so you plan out your whole year? Yes. Yes. Like I mean it in terms of what is your focus, right? Because let's just say, you know, as you're looking at 2018 now, I think everyone's thinking about it at this moment. What do you want to, what is your biggest product that you have that's going to be the biggest launch? How can you strategize that, you know, kind of stagger in a way where maybe you can do it twice next year? You know, like I'll be doing this mastermind twice next year. Okay. So I know that these are my larger launches. You know, it's not my digital, because I have digital stuff. This would be like the larger, touchy-feely, like, you know, the one-on-ones, and I get to meet with people bi-weekly, those type of people, outside of like VIP, because VIP, I only want to book maybe 3 to 4 people for next year because my price point has went up drastically. So it's really, I'm putting everybody in group programs. So I'm looking, you know, I want you to look at your one-on-ones. You know, these are for my service people. Obviously, I'm talking to you right now. So one-on-ones, your group programs, and your digital products. How can you strategize that throughout the year so that you can create the income that you want? You know, you already made a vision board. So think about how much money you want to make, and then how can you make it, right? How, you know, what do your digital products bring in? You know, or hypothetically, what would it bring in? And what does your VIP packages? I know Eve, you were talking about your VIP now will be about 10K. Okay, so that means you probably will only maybe get 1 or 2 of those next year. You know what I mean? That's not something that's going to be just rolling through every month, you know, you know, a VIP every single month. But you want to also strategize your digital products as well. Now, my product people, I don't want to leave none of my product people out here. I want you to think about too the peaks of the year. So, you know, towards the end right now, you can, you know, if you start trying to, you know, strategize your launches for right now, you're kind of a little bit behind, but you know, I'm not trying to be mean or anything. You are a little bit behind, but still can launch something maybe towards the beginning of the year that could be really hitting home. But the only reason I could say you can do something great for Christmas is if you already have a tribe. If you already have you got some people that's lined up in your group, you kind of built them up, then you'll probably be able to get some good money in here for Christmas. But if you are fresh at this and you're just kind of like throwing yourself in there, probably bank on January, February to really bring in some good money, not the kibbles and bits, right? I'm talking about money you can live off of. And so, Felicia, you're saying, so like having a detox happening in January, April, maybe challenge up to it. Yes, exactly. So strategize those hot ticket months for your product or your service. And my product people, just do big blitz. If I was you, I would do quarterly blitz. Keep it themed around the seasons. Like, okay, we're going into winters, so obviously that's holiday stuff. But like once we get out of the winter, it's spring. And then once we get out of the spring, summer, fall, kind of like keep your stuff quartered for the product people. I think it'll be really nice if you do it like that. And like say for instance, your purses or jewelry or clothing, you'll have all your fall looks here, and you'll do a big blitz around that and such. And I'll make sure I mute everybody actually right now because I do hear some background noise as well. All right, that much. I don't hear it anymore, so I think it's good. Oh, I hear something else good. I don't know who's open. There. All right. Sorry about that. Making sure it's clear for everybody. But yeah, so definitely keep these things in mind, ladies, for that piece here. And let's get to the what does it take, for a customer to buy. There's definitely reasons why they'll buy. There are reasons why they won't buy. And I want you to keep yourself in mind. All these things here, okay? Keep yourself in mind. You got to be motivated. They got to be motivated, right? They're going to investigate. So that means, you got to give them things to investigate, allow them to see a bigger picture of you, a behind the scenes of you. Product people too, all because you're selling purses and shoes and jewelry, let them still see you. Remember yesterday we talked about creating your separate website. Let people get to know you at a different level besides just your product. They will love you, and then they will buy from you all the time, and they'll send all their friends and their girlfriends to you for all those products as well. The trust piece is always important, but that credibility, like we were talking about earlier, is everything. So every time you put something out, just kind of throw out there your credibility a little bit, put something that just gives this is why I'm doing this. This is, showing yourself as an expert at all times, figuring out whatever that is, making sure that you stand out for your expertise and the knowledge that you do have to provide to your client or your customer, regardless if it's services or product. And then, of course, lastly, is that you got to give them something that they need or they want. And that goes back to your pre-work. So definitely dig back in if you still haven't done that to make sure that you understand what is it your customer truly, truly want for themselves or desire. Now, this is where I really want to talk about here today, because I think we lose sight sometimes that when we're out there in the field and we're looking for people to buy from us, we forget that the way we are with others that's offering services and products, that we need to think about how we want to be so that we can attract what we want, okay? So be the client that you want to attract, always. So when others are offering opportunities, don't be so quick to say, I don't have the money. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you're always like that, everybody's going to be like that with you. I promise you. It's like an ugly thread that comes like a two-edged sword. If you always say, nope, I don't got the money, I don't have it, then that's what you're going to attract every time. And you don't want that, right? You're not in this program to not sell programs or sell your services or your products either. And then listen to people. Be open to sales presentations. Don't cringe when you hear the word sale. Really address any backlog that you have about sales. That's why I had you do one of those assignments about a bad selling experience, because I want you to get everything out of your chest and your heart that is possibly subconsciously holding you back from moving forward about that term sales. Like if you got some things back there that's really holding you back and making you feel frustrated, it's going to show up in everything you do and offer to your people. Okay. So definitely keep that in mind. And then I went too fast there. I want you also to be a woman of your word. You know, when you tell somebody, I'll think about it, think about it. I mean, come on, like this is common sense, but I don't think we really think about these things when we're the actual marketer. You know, we're like, oh yeah, you know, I'm being bombarded by somebody to sell to me, but you're going to be selling to somebody too. So you got to really think about this for a moment, and don't lie just to change the subject or to delay. Don't tell somebody, oh, I got to go ask my husband, you know, when you're really not going to ask them, but you're just trying to get them to get off your back or things like that. And of course, lastly, don't expect freebies. Don't think everything is free, okay? Don't, you know, I love you all and I'm giving, but at the same time, I am still on a mission too to build my wealth and to build my legacy, okay? So everything I do won't be free, okay? And I don't want you to do that either. I want you to be able to give things free when you want to give it free, okay? Don't ever feel like you need and have to give things free to get people attention. I didn't do this whole 5-day sale experience just because I had to do it. I did it because I wanted to do it. I wanted to show up hard and strong as an expert marketer to show you all that I know my stuff about this. I've been living and breathing this for 6 years online and in the banking industry and etc. I failed so many times that I can tell you from every bad experience on how you can overcome it. I'm on a mission to empower my women to not do the crap that I've done and don't go in the circles that I have. Okay. The whole mission of this was not to just book you for my mastermind. It was a larger mission to this. Now, on the other end, there is a piece of my mission here that is to help you catapult your impact, your bank account, and your freedom. And that takes a 4-month program, because all this stuff that I'm giving you in these 5 days, yes, you can pick up on things, you can do stuff, you can whatever, but at the end of the day, it's going to be quite tough to apply all this stuff that you've learned in 5 days and just start going at it. Definitely take pieces of it, but having that like-minded crowd of women and support is everything, okay? So I just wanted to, you know, to definitely keep that in mind for sure. And I'm just reading the comments here. It was to serve, you wanted to serve your queens, and I respect that. Exactly. Exactly. That's pure-heartedly. I'm just being as honest as I can be. That's okay. There's nothing to hide, and people know me. But Felicia knows me. Who else knows me on here? Melissa. I worked with Melissa before. So if I got people returning back, that means it's something, right? I'm not a, you know, inauthentic person at all. But so let me go over to this next page. What I do have here today is I do have Felicia here. And I wanted to kind of have a case study with her this evening and ask her a few questions. She did not even know my questions, okay? So she's not, you know, like been studying all the questions. This is her first time looking at them right now, I promise you. And I wanted to just ask her on the spot without, you know, a drill or anything like that about an experience that her and I had over the phone. I did give her the heads up that this was what it was about. And I asked her, can she just come on? Let's just talk about it. And that's all I said, right, Felicia? I didn't say much more after that. And so I want us to talk about it. I unmuted you, Felicia. And, okay, you know, the first thing I want you to do is, of course, introduce yourself. Let the ladies know what you do and how long you've been in business and stuff.
Yeah. My name is Felicia Drayton, and I'm a women's health and wellness coach. Pretty much I help women lose weight, save money, and pretty much feel great about their bodies, you know, and about their lives, start setting boundaries and, you know, everything that it comes to be ultimately reaching that goal of losing weight and trying to do it in the most natural and sustainable way.
Yes.
So, I've been going through this journey with my business, I would say probably since 2014. And that was about a couple years after I lost weight. And, you know, I kept it off since, and it's been, I would say, you know, kind of up and down in terms of my business. Not to say I've always gotten compliments as to what I've given people has worked, but as well as I've had essentially a lot of people leeching from me. That's instead of, you know, feeling compensated for the gifts I have bestowed.
Yeah. And so, you know, I want us to talk, and her testimonial is on my site too for the actual 4-month mastermind too. So you can read about her transformation and the time that we worked together. I think we started working together, not last year, but like was it towards,
Yeah, towards the
kind of
end
like
of the
fall. And we
Yeah.
worked together for about 3 months, right? And then,
Mm-hmm.
and then we took a break, and then we kind of reconvened a little bit here this summer, a little bit.
Yep. For another 3 months. Yeah.
Exactly.
And so we worked on just different projects
Yep.
at those times. So I've definitely, I've been working on my book still from our last time.
Awesome ebook.
Yeah. So I've been working on that, and I, just through, the power of working on that, I've gotten connected to a lot of different people who are willing to like read it and edit it, who have also written books.
Yes.
Yeah. So just, things are still going.
Exactly. So it's always it's a journey, right? It's always a journey.
Yeah, definitely.
But what I want to talk about specifically is the moment that she booked online with me, or on the phone with me. And I want to ask you here today, Felicia, in front of everyone, what made you book with me at that moment over the phone? What was it that was going in your own?
And were you thinking about in October when we booked for that? I think it was that.
Yeah, when we booked for the program where I had the VIP for $2,500, and then you booked and you paid the first payment over the phone.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So that one we were talking about it. It had been a little while, and I had felt this urge to kind of go in a different direction. I was feeling kind of like lost because I've worked with so many other coaches, right? So I had a lot of conflicting knowledge. Yeah. A lot of, should I do it this way? Should I do it that way? What should I do? Yeah. And, everybody has kind of their rules for business, essentially. Yeah. And when I talked to you, I guess the difference was I saw that some of our journey was similar, right? Mm-hmm. So that helped me feel like I connected. Yep. And I understood, and you understood me. Yep. I had thought about the book idea, but wasn't really sure. You actually encouraged me towards that. Yep. And I would say the fact that I felt like I could see the journey.
Yeah.
I could see exactly where we were going to go, what we were going to work on. Mm-hmm. And I also trusted that even if I didn't reach my exact goal at the end of it, the journey on the way there would still result in something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all worth it, because we evolve.
So it's like, yeah.
So what were some of the things that maybe was going on in your head at that time, though? The gremlins, I'm always big about speaking about the inner chatter. So I call them gremlins, ladies, the inner chatter.
Yep, the inner chatter. So, I mean, of course, one of the biggest things, and, this is probably an ongoing journey for me still, just finances, of course. Yeah. But I've gotten better at that. And I think that that's what has helped me to take next steps and things like that.
Yeah.
For a long time, I didn't really have any well-grounded boundaries when it came to money. And now I've established some that, even you and I had worked together, right, with me saying, I only get paid once a month. And so, us working together to talk about what kind of plan worked for me.
Exactly.
And so maybe even being able to do like more, multiple payments versus one. But essentially you were flexible. That helped with giving me motivation to work with you.
Yes. Let me just make sure I mute there. All right, there we go. And so good. So no, I think that's great. And then, you mentioned the money thing, right? And I think that's where a lot of people are at right now. Just even honestly with the mastermind program, right? I mean, there's a lot of you that's like, okay, I want the scholarship, but if I don't get the scholarship, what am I going to do? Right. So
right.
could you share and enlighten these women on, those thoughts that goes in your head when you're like, oh my God, I'm about to invest this much money into my business and by faith, right? Just kind of like stepping out and like, I don't know what's going to happen next. Like, what is that? What is encouraging words, or what can you, kind of give them some enlightenment on that, or how to process all that? It's heavy.
Yeah, it is. And it's probably, when you think about it, it's more money than you've spent in one thing. And I think that's probably the scariest part about it, because, maybe not, right? But it's to think about what things do you really value, right? Like we spend money on cars, on, houses, clothes, purses, all this kind of stuff. And I more or less thought to myself, being the health coach that I am, right? There was a turning point in my life where I had to consider, the value of the food I was putting in my body and what I was willing to spend on that food. Right.
Mm-hmm.
There was a point that became a thought. And when that became a thought, it was a powerful and transformative thought. And so, now I started thinking, if I was willing to spend whatever I needed to spend on food, then I should also be willing to do that in my life on something that I know can change my life.
That's right.
Yeah. And give me knowledge that, even my bachelor's degree, right? We kind of talked about that, student loans. I work in financial aid too. Yeah. And so, right, I have like 40,000 in student loans. I'll just say that. And so we take on debt for numerous things. And so it's like, I would say this is probably one of those that it's kind of like, oh, you're not sure. Probably it's one of the most, I guess, unsecured debts you could get other than a credit card, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of like, if you really want it, what are you willing to risk for it? And at that point, like I said, we put debt on other things. At that point, it was like $2,500 over a certain amount of time, right?
Yep.
And I know I'm going to get paid from my employer as long as I work there. I know I'm doing a great job, so I'm not afraid of losing my job. I felt 100% confident in that. So I'm like, I know I can pay this. And
that's right.
It's more about just like getting myself comfortable about making the choice.
Yeah.
So when I put it in my, I'm a nerd. I like to put things in my spreadsheets. But when I put it in my spreadsheet and I could see it, because we had made a payment plan and all that, I was able to go, all right, I can do this.
That's right. And it's not as hard as you think, because I've been on that stick too, where I'm like, oh my God, like when I made my first investment in business coaching, I was like, oh my God, my first business coaching, I was paying about almost $700 a month. And I was like, oh my God, this is such a large payment. It's like, as big as my house note, it's like, this is crazy to be investing this money every month. And even my husband was side-eyeing me like, okay, I trust you,
Right.
But it's so worth it, because every time I made an investment in my business, I have elevated from a mental, spiritual, income, bank account standpoint. Like, it's just, it's amazing to me. And I would think too, Felicia would say the same thing, that somewhere you grew, something you've expanded in, something that you've learned.
Oh,
I mean, it's always something about it. So I'm glad.
It's like every coach taught me something, it's like, even though, I can say I've invested in different coaches and programs and things like that, each one taught me something that I know will be useful at some point in my life. It's just that I think I said this to a friend. I'm like, I think I'm just a little bit beyond my time now. Like, I just have so much knowledge.
Remember, we talked about that. So much up there now. Yeah.
It's like, whew, all right, I want to go back to being a baby again and having someone just tell me exactly what to do, one step at a time.
Exactly. And one thing I wanted to talk about lastly with you, Felicia, is about the feeling after the transaction. Did you feel any remorse, or did you feel like that buyer's like, oh my God, I just did this? Or like, what was your feelings? Because some people feel like something a week after, a day after, and they almost like, did I do that? Oh my God. Or like, what was your emotions?
I was going to say, well, because I've had the experience of doing, signing up with other coaches, I actually felt really good after talking to you and feeling, a plan and thinking about it. Like, of course it was like scary because of the money aspect, but that's where I was like, okay, Felicia, it was scary because, me being as like strict with my plans, but changing, growing, I thought, okay, it's also because it's different, right? It's off course a little bit. And otherwise I felt elated, right? Like, great. I was like, oh, I'm going to get some progress. And, I think back to that and I'm like, I absolutely can see the progress that I had.
Mm-hmm.
I can absolutely see the difference. I can see,
this girl is like standing her power more. She sets boundaries now. When she goes out and posts, you can see what she's posting. You can feel what she's posting now. Like it's huge difference. Yeah.
And, I've continued to step into my power and, not only that with the posts and stuff, but, stepping into that with your business helps you in your life, right? Yes. Like during that time, I had a lot of serious things going on with my parents. Both of them are sick. They were in the hospital and all this stuff. And, there was crazy family drama, of course, and people trying to, inflict blame and guilt and shame and all this stuff. And you know, I kind of came out thinking to myself, like, damn, like,
Yeah.
like I kind of felt gangsta afterwards.
Yeah.
Like,
He was like, man, I did that.
yeah, I dealt with all this shit.
That's right.
But
You did.
I felt was like,
That was a lot at one time. I was like, woo.
you know,
Oh,
and
my.
I still accomplished writing like so much of my book and, you know, getting a lot of my media and stuff done, right? That you inspired and encouraged me and supported me to do.
Yeah.
So it's like now when I get focused again, I've got beautiful graphics, you know, for my book and beautiful graphics for my newsletters.
Absolutely and gorgeous.
You know, and it's like, I haven't shared this with anybody. It's just been you to me, but.
Well, you got to share with your queen sisters, right, girls?
Right? I do. So.
Yes.
But essentially, like, you know, strength, retreating in strength, right?
Yeah.
So more or less I stepped back, but I was really digging in deep and going, what is this brand that I want to create and who is she? And I've been living it out and sometimes not sharing it with anybody but one other person is the best thing.
Yes.
You know, because
it lets you get clear.
Yeah, because too many minds sharing their thoughts with you about what you should or shouldn't be doing is sometimes the problem.
Yes, I agree.
Right?
I agree.
Getting too many insights.
Yeah, you're like, okay.
Yeah, and so, you know, not getting anyone's insight right now, not share, you know, but sharing stuff when I feel inspired to do so.
Yeah.
But then really focusing on myself and my business and what that means has made me more grounded in. Like when someone says, oh, I don't agree with that, which I've had that experience. Somebody connecting with me and saying, oh, I don't agree with that. And I said, that's fine. Exactly. But this is what I went through. This is what I know works. I haven't had somebody else tell me that it doesn't. So, you know, you can try and tell me some other thing, but no. Like.
Yep. But it's like, no, stand on my ground, right?
Yeah.
Stand on my ground.
That might work for, you know, and it's funny. That's the thing. They'll say to me, like, you know, this doesn't work. And I guess I learned this from other coaches, right? So Dave Ramsey, he's one of my financial gurus I love.
Yeah.
And he always says, because somebody will say, when paying off your debt, going from smallest amount to largest, they'll go, well, wouldn't you pay off the highest interest first, right? That makes sense. And he says, well, if you knew accounting, you wouldn't have been in debt in the first place.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
So when I have sometimes people talking about weight loss to me and they're arguing with me about whether or not what I'm saying is right.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, not trying to be a bitch, but you wouldn't be here and you wouldn't be overweight if you knew what you were doing. Like,
that's right.
I'm not trying to argue with you, but like, why are you arguing with me?
It's like, why are you arguing with me about this?
Like, I can clearly see that you're motivated. But
so true. So true, Felicia. That's good stuff there, man. That's awesome.
I felt great after our talk though.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I know I did too. And that's the thing, you know, I'm all about, if I don't feel good with you and there's something that's not vibing, I'm not going to tell you I want you in my program. I'm just not.
Right.
I mean, I'm just not.
Too much work.
Yes, I'm not going to go from a 9-to-5 employer to being a slave to clients and customers. I'm just not going to do that. You know what I mean? Come on. So I want you all ladies to think about that. I mean, we're going to really get into that on Friday, but always think about that. Don't think about the money. It's about your sanity, your peace, you know, your power. You will speak more in volumes if you stand in your own personal truth versus trying to make everybody happy, trying to cater to everybody's needs. You know, I'm queen of like, nah, I'm not, we're not, nah. I don't know. I don't know about this. Like today, I gladly gave that money back today. I was like, oh, no. And I actually had felt something before that person did the transaction because I am very high intuitive and I have to say I didn't listen to it. Because I questioned it. Like we all do, right? We question those thoughts that we have. I felt something vibing wrong with her. And I said, because we did a little mini call and instantly I said, she's not coachable. And I said, but maybe, you know, it's just a different culture or different something. You know, I just started just coming up with all my little accolades and excuses to say, okay, maybe it was just me that day. And then, you know, everything that happened in these last, you know, just 24 hours and such, I was like, oh, super confirmation, click, refund, email, out. Like, I can't do this. So and it makes you feel so good. Like, you're just like, you know you're in your own power. Nobody needs to tell you that, because it's just that alignment. You just feel so aligned with yourself and your spirit and your soul. So thank you so much, Felicia, for coming by tonight and just on the spot answering these questions. And
you're welcome.
Let enlighten these women on a process that, it does take. It's not easy to invest in yourself. It's not easy to make these choices, but they're so valuable, just from personal experience. And then obviously Felicia is coming by, and all the ladies are saying thank you. They're doing a lot of chatting there.
Oh.
So definitely look at the chat box. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and move forward. So of course, the Dominate Mastermind Program, 4 months. Now, when you all see that $14.97, it's like, oh my God. So I broke it down for you. Okay. $11 per day. Ladies, and that's on the payment plan. Obviously, that's paying the $349 a month. It's $11 per day. I'm sure some of you and the others that may see this recording later on is spending that in dining out every day, or Starbucks, or something. Okay, $11 a day is not a lot of money. It's really not. You got to really figure out, what do you really desire? If you want that legacy, if you want that time freedom, that money freedom, you're gonna get 4 solid months hand-holding experience of support. Okay, like you're gonna be handheld that whole 4 months. That's why it's 4 months and not like 6 weeks or 8 weeks or any of those things, because I want to make sure that you're fully supported. We're gonna have weekly 60-minute calls. So we're gonna have one of them every 2 weeks is gonna be content, and then the other 2 weeks will be Q&A. So you have open forums to ask all the questions you want, get all the insight. And then, of course, we're going to have that private group, our paid group. So, we got the Tenacious Queen group, but those that is investing in this program, we're going to have our own separate group, okay? Not that we're never going to go out to the other big land and talk with our sister queens. We don't want to leave them high and dry, but we're not going to be out there every day. So we got to, connect with one another and making sure we're on task and all that good stuff. And I'm actually using Teachable as the education program. So you can check that out for yourselves, for those that want to create content or programs for your digital products. Teachable is so amazing. So all of your stuff is actually started to get uploaded last week for the 4-month program. There is a fee for it, so check it out to see if it's feasible for you and your business, but it's amazing. It has the carts there. It's like a lead page, but it has all the modules, video content, everything. It sends notifications to all your students. It's so amazing. All right. So that's where all the stuff is at. And then you'll have your experts that I posted today. Did you all see the experts that I posted today? Did you see them on the Facebook group? Some amazing experts, huh? So they are all on there. You can check them out, Google them, or just pull up their Facebook profiles. They are there. But it's an opportunity to learn from their expertise and different dynamics and such. And then you just know that you're going to have that sisterhood support throughout the whole process. So I just wanted to open up and to see if anyone had questions about that before we move on to the final deal this evening that we're going to be doing. So I'm going to unmute everybody. I think I'm going to unmute everybody because it didn't unmute everybody. There we go. Any questions about the program? Any concerns? What's your reservations? What's holding you back from booking this program and getting in this program today?
Is anybody else going to talk? Can I talk?
You can talk.
Go ahead.
So my reservations is that I literally, like, the day after I published my course, 3 people bought it, and that was like a $900 like gain. And I was just, I'm just at the point where I'm like, oh my God. People are buying my course.
I know, that's good. Congratulations. So I want to take a moment and congratulate you on that. That's always a great feeling.
Thank you. And it took me a while. It took me a month to create it. And I just am at the point where I'm like, oh my gosh, I have all these other things. And I know I only need to literally sell. Literally, my course is the exact price of what you want me to pay every month. And so I'm just sitting here like, oh my gosh, really? So that means that, like, I need to sell at least 1 course, and I know I'm going to sell more than that.
Because we're going to make sure you're going to sell more than that.
Yeah, I've sold 3 in 1 week, and it's just like, and that's enough to set me up for like the whole beyond the week, really.
I'm so happy for you, girl.
Right.
That's awesome.
just the reservation though is just like, oh my God.
Yeah, it is.
I know that it's going to be some work.
Yeah, it will be work. Yeah, it will, but it will be at your own pace too. So that's why I did everything on Teachable and the live components. So of course the live pieces, everyone's not going to always be on those. I get that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, we can't accommodate all 15, 16 of you. But the thing is that you'll have that flexibility to pop into the Facebook group, pop into your modules on Teachable, and doing that. I'll make sure that you don't have to spend, more than 1 to 2 hours a week on anything, because I know that you all are busy and you got to crank it out and make money. So I don't want you to be too fixated on the program. You can't be out there marketing, talking to your people, prospecting. That's going to be really important, because it's my job as your coach to ensure that you make money in this program or go higher. Like if you're not making money, to make money. And then if you are making money, gotta go to the next level. Gotta go to whatever that next level is, and we're gonna examine every morsel of your business to ensure that you do. So
I'm also curious, what do you focus on in the first month?
Yeah, so here's the modules. Actually, let me pull up. Let's do this here. I have stop this share, and then I'm gonna do another share because I have I had it was up here. But yeah, I was gonna pull it up on here to show you, but I think what it did, it already kicked it out of gear here. So I'll just explain it to you though. But let me pull back up the slide deck so we can just kind of stay on task here, because the next thing we'll be doing is getting the scholarship stuff. So yeah, on the first module though, the first module, we're gonna take basically a lot of what you did in that pre-work, but we're gonna really hone into your unique selling process. We got to get that, the flow, the rhythm, that strategy piece. That whole month is about creating that around your ideal client. So basically, if you already done the pre-work, then obviously you got a little heads up. But then I'm going to help you take it deeper, because I couldn't do that to everybody in the group. I mean, I couldn't take every little layer of your ideal and just kind of I was trying to do it with a few people, but I couldn't do it for everybody. And so I want to make sure that for you all that's in that mastermind, that first month is all about getting super duper clear about who you're talking to, what you're offering, and when you're going to offer it. Okay. So that's going to be the strategy pieces on month 1, all month 1. And then month 2 is going to go more into the mindset stuff. So it's going to go into more of the money story and figuring out what you should charge, or packaging if you haven't really determined that. Making sure that it's the strategy and within the regards to what you have as a goal for 2018. Because everything we're going to be doing in this program is for 2018. So, basically all the revenue in 2018. And so we'll be talking about that in round 2. We'll also during round 2 have the money manifestor come in on round 2. The first one will be the actual content architect. She'll be coming in to make sure that, she's helping you all also get your content real clear, because if you can get your content super clear, speaking directly to them, it's going to be easy to bring the money in. Then the second half of the month will be, second half of the program will be more of a focus on some of the things for you, Eve, that you're definitely more experienced with the digital products. But with you, we'll have to get really clear on making sure that you are bringing in that more than the $5K a month for you. So we'll be making sure that now we got you at $300-some product. Okay, what are we going to do to get the larger products? How are we going to funnel them into another way here so they can, that
I have another one. So are you talking about sales funnels? Because I definitely have a sales funnel. Like I have the free.
Yeah. You already got sales funnels. I know that. Yeah. So we want to maximize, take it to that next level, strategize it a little bit more effectively, bringing in also to figure out how do you want to continuously market yourself outside of that. Because I know there were some things that you were talking about as far as direct sales and how can
I don't like direct sales.
You don't like direct sales?
Okay,
I thought you said you wanted it.
So I had a breakthrough. Actually, after you asked me that, I was talking to my husband and I had a breakthrough.
Yeah.
I don't like selling directly to an individual, but I can sell a heck out of some stuff on the stage. Like I could be speaking to people and I don't have a problem. All those 3 people that bought the courses this past week, were all from the audience. They were all from the audience. So I know exactly where they came from.
Good.
So that's really interesting. Oh boy, I'm just.
Well, see, and that's the thing. You got to know. Remember, I was talking about knowing your unique flow, right? So for you, you don't need to do direct. You can do. I mean, audience is kind of direct, but it's a different.
Yeah, but see, my hang up was just like having that direct conversation with someone, and then like your feelings are attached to the person. It's like this weird, like, I don't know. Does anybody else understand? I mean, like when you
get
talk
what you're
to
saying. Like because you then focus just on their issues and situations, and versus being able to give them just what they need, and like in a group fashion, there's certain things that they would withhold and focus a little bit more in a group.
Yeah.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And I think that when I work with individuals, like if I'm selling to an individual, I get nervous.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't know what this person thinks of me. I can't tell what they think of me. But when I'm talking to a crowd, I don't really care. You either, my job is
or not.
Right. And your job is to choose. My job is to educate you. Your job is to choose. Look.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's more or less just taking that down to the individual level, which I relate. Like I have a hard time with that too. Mm-hmm. I think it's the fact that I have to do it in my job.
Yeah.
That makes me, in all the jobs I've had actually, like most times I'm talking to groups, but once I get down to the individual, it's like, you know?
Yeah.
Because usually you are dealing with then some very touchy, personal, you know, unfortunately your energy probably does get a little mixed and tied together.
It so does. And I know they feel that.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to get over that part. So I think that
you don't have to though. That's the thing. I want you to be at peace with what the flow that you have. If you know that you can do that, let's maximize it more so with master classes. You know, you can sell your digital products through that or through other mechanisms, or we can, and, you know, with Tej, when she comes in the program, she's big on media. I mean, golly, she's all out there. That's her thing. You can almost become in a way where you set yourself on several stages a year, right? Strategically.
That'd be awesome.
Just cast out your programs right then and there. Yeah,
I see the
look at her face.
The wheels are turning. The wheels are turning. Okay.
You know, I mean, I got a plan for a plan for a plan. I promise you. So we can come up with something we can figure out and get honed in tighter so that we have that for you. So it's like clockwork for you. Like you bump all the whole one-on-one crap. This is my zone of genius. And we can maximize your zone of genius and calibrate that so that you can do exactly what you need to do. But sometimes having the extra support, thinking outside the box a little bit more is going to be highly critical in some cases too.
Okay. That makes perfect sense.
But I'm glad that you shared that though. That's really good. And I'm so glad that you sold your product so far too. That's awesome.
I didn't think that I was going to, because when I walked out, I hadn't made any like live sales.
Yeah.
And three people came. She's got 2 other people that she's wanting to get into the course, and like another guy. I'm just like, what the heck? You guys, like,
that is awesome. That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Glad we talked it out. Anyone else?
I'm like, I don't know.
Speak now or forever hold your peace. I mean, this is an opportunity to ask whatever questions. There's no judge zone here.
Well, I guess for me, it's always just, you know, and I think you and I have talked about this, more of a time thing.
Yeah.
Oh, can you hear me? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I can hear you.
Yeah, it's usually more of a timing thing, as in, you know, my work is like really presentation night and weekend heavy.
Yeah.
So it's like it ends up taking up all my time, and I really don't want to get up any earlier to do any of the work or any, you know, like I don't mean to be that way, but it's like that's where some of those boundaries kind of have to be set for me to go, you know, how much am I going to burn, you know, am I going to burn the candle at both ends, or am I going to not? And
and that's really important to do. You know, that's one aspect that I don't want anyone in any of my programs, my clients, or any of you queens, even if you're not in a program, to burn yourself out on business. You gotta have a good strategy on having a balance of that and figuring out a way where you can get rest, fun, you know, play, all those things do exist, you know, while you're building a legacy. You can do that at the same time, I promise.
Right.
And, you know, and that's, you know, those are things I like just kind of indirectly focus on, of course, with anybody that I coach, because obviously I have that health coach brain of mine too, that still pops in and help my women do that, because part of our modules is also too, to make sure that your body and your energy matches your brand. You know, I want to make sure that you feel good from the inside out. So I'm going to ensure that, you know, that's that health coach of me. I got to make sure you have all the pieces together here, because if you don't,
you know
what?
Oh that you got like, you guys are just like everything they're sick, because like my image and the way that my energy is, you guys, sometimes I have to take naps and like I'm tired, and I take B12 and B6 and I'm still like tired and stuff. And like I think it's because of my weight, and I need to get my health in order, and I just don't feel like the CEO. Like I just don't feel.
And that's where I want every woman to feel. You got to look and feel like the queen boss that you're supposed to be. Okay.
Yeah, and I don't feel like that, and I think that for me,
and that's where I feel like a lot of programs lose it. They don't tie that in, you know. That's why it's 4 months, ladies. That's why it's 4 months. I could have easily did this in 6-8 weeks and had sent you on your way with a lot of this material, but I want it to be that long because there's a lot of stuff I want to cover with you. So, you know, definitely check out the lead page. It gives you obviously more details about the modules and stuff. And then don't hesitate to ask any questions like as
you have the, are you going to put the link to all of this in the group?
Yes. And this actually has been posted, but I'll make sure I tag all of you that's on here. I'll make sure I get all your names and tag you, so you can definitely look at it in more detail tonight for sure.
And Felicia, you and I need to talk, because you do some health stuff that
that's right.
Natural way. I want to lose weight naturally, and everybody keeps trying to throw pills at me and stuff like that.
Like, I've tried
any of that in my body. I don't like.
Get her, Felicia. Get her.
That's funny. But yeah,
other questions, ladies?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I want to piggyback on what Eve said. I also have periods of time where I feel like my energy doesn't match my mindset and not feeling like a CEO. I am guilty of devoting a lot of my time to other people. The last 2 years have been really, you know, hard, because I've been taking care of my mom and, you know, not focusing on myself as much as I should. And so I'm I don't exactly know, you know, I'm kind of with Felicia on this one. Is like I have so many ideas that I don't really know where to focus and how to even start. So I don't know how the would help me if I don't exactly have an idea yet. Is it something I should wait to do once I have an idea? Like I don't know.
Oh, as far as your business?
Yes.
So no. So the thing is that I'm splitting it. So based on whoever signs up, I'm splitting the sides there with people that's already gotten some revenues. Like, so for Eve and Felicia, I will have them in a different bucket versus someone maybe like you that don't have anything at all, because I will want to give you a different set of modules per se. Like you'll be in the same group with each other as far as the paid group, but I will be giving you just kind of a split of a module, because there is a different things that I want to focus on someone that's already making money versus someone that don't even know. But I do have a module. That's why I asked about a week or two ago in the group, asking who doesn't have an idea of what they want to do, but they know they want, you know, a legacy and time and money freedom. So I've created already the modules for you all specifically separate for that. So keep that in mind. You do not need to know what you want to do. I can help you find what you want to do. Just know that you have a separate module than the other ladies, but you will be in the same group as the paid. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay, awesome.
What if you have too many things that you're trying to do? Because I think
I'm going to knit you down.
I have way too many things going on. I mean, I work full time.
Yeah.
As a hobby, I actually train 3 of my friends, because I went through just listening to you guys about your weight loss journey and things. I mean, I did the same thing, did it naturally, kept it off for many years now.
Wow, good job.
Diabetes so far, which has just been just awesome.
Likewise, yeah.
But you know, as you guys have seen in my posts, I am a marketing partner for Monate, which is a hair product.
Yeah.
But I'm also, I used to be a dog groomer, and now I want to incorporate Monate because it works on pets as well, because I just found that out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's kind of cool. And I really want to get my passion for animals and kind of link it all together. And it's just it's so hard to kind of figure out, you know, how to just link it all together.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I'm kind of curious, what brings you the highest ROI?
That's right.
Yeah, that's a good question, Eve. I love it.
Very good
Business-minded.
I'll have to actually sit and
we'll have to uncover that, right? Because that will be where we'll need to start first. You know, get the lowest hanging fruit first, right? Go for the lowest hanging fruit.
I was gonna say, and it sounds like you've got 3 friends that are definitely
Yes, they are.
I know what that feels like. I mean, and I have coworkers come to me all the time, like they'll just come over and just talk to me and just start telling me about their life and their day, and like, you know, more or less they're wanting me to respond with oh, well, you should do this, or oh, you should do that, and I'm just like, oh, really?
Oh my gosh, I have those conversations all the time.
I'm like, oh, really? Oh, that stinks. Yeah. And, you know, and I just really bite my lip a lot, and then they go, and then they starting to come up with their own solutions, and they're waiting for me to like either agree or disagree, and I'm like, oh, you could.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
And then they go, oh, well, thanks. It was good talking to you. I'm like, yeah, but they don't come and like leech as often. Like they still try, but I think they get it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to learn to bite my tongue.
I love you, but you know, we've talked about it. Like, because I have invested like hours with these people, and I'm like, hey, let me give you this information, right? Like a digital product. Let me give you this information that you pay for once and have forever. Right? So you don't have to keep asking me. You can just have this and keep reading it over and over again and do this healthy thing over and over again as many times as you want.
That's right.
And then you can just ask me when it really gets hard or that is no longer applicable.
Yeah.
And they just won't do it. Even when I've offered $27. Like, think about that. Like,
oh man.
Wow. Right, $27. I've gone that low with a nice digital product, and they're like, "No, I can't afford it." I'm like, "That's not how bad you want it." When I see you coming in with expensive juices and going out to eat,
exactly.
So it's like, priorities.
And that's when it comes to the play that you gotta think about too. When you got the lower end products, it does attract a different class of people. And
it does. Yeah.
Trying to be, mean or anything like that. But when you increase your price a little higher, it makes somebody stand on their tippy toes a little bit more, and it's a different caliber of a person that will invest. That's why my program is not like at the bottom of the barrel. It's not like super high either, but it's not the bottom of the barrel. So
I've really been just letting people chase me at this point.
and they will. It'll be magnetic. I mean, for you, I know you, and I know what you've been going through. It's just you've been doing a lot lately, and so your mind hasn't even been tunnel vision focused on this.
Right, no.
But once you come into this program, it will be. And then you're going to be around like-minded women, and you're going to get women probably from the group in itself, okay? And then things are going to just blow up just because you start creating the tunnel vision of it, that focus. Right now, you're not that focused. So it's like, you're kind of throwing the universe a little confused,
because I'm not trying to sell it, and then people are somewhat inquiring, but I'm like, how bad do you want it? Because I don't want it if you don't want it.
That's right.
That's where I've come to. Like, I don't want it if you don't want it, because I don't want to waste the time. I'm busy.
Yeah.
And then I'll totally agree. That's the energy I've been putting out there. And I'm fully aware. Like, but whatever. I do want to help people, but I'm just at that point where I'm like, I'm really aware that I am not willing to invest more than they're willing to invest. Exactly. And a lot of that came from, my mom's stuff. Like there was a point where my mom I learned that was somewhat of a pattern with my mom. Yeah. She would want me to want things more for her. And that's the kind of people I was attracting. And, they say if you don't learn a lesson, you'll get it over and over.
It's over and over again.
Exactly. Yep. And so I got that lesson loud and clear. And now I'm just like, nope. I want what I want, and it's mine. And you don't get to try and make me want what you want.
Yep.
For
and
me,
there's nothing wrong for that, though.
Yeah.
That's boundaries. That's your power. You know.
Absolutely.
Is that what you,
Felicia? I love it.
Is that what you teach in the program? You teach to help with like boundaries and high. What I think what we're talking about right now too is high ticket sales, because I have products where I know that I've put so many hours and so much work and so much effort, and I have like contacts that I'm bringing on.
Yeah.
And I just don't want people to be like, oh, how much is it?
Yeah.
I don't want to pay $2,000. Well, then you're just not the right person because I put in so much work.
And we're gonna find those people. There's a strategy on finding high ticket clients. There's a way, and it's your language. It's it could be your branding. It could be so many things that attracts a certain caliber of a person. And it's important to do that. And it's just kind of like that trial and error, kind of figure out where they're at, your people specifically. And I think I definitely see yours, Eve, with this whole master classes and definitely the stages, kind of getting you booked up, making sure that you have at least 3-4 events a year, and you just kind of like blast out your stuff right then and there. I mean, that's going to be you. That's you.
I'm all for that. I'll self-select for that one.
Hey, we can partner up and just be like summits, right?
Yeah, like I had these ideas of like retreats and things like that. Normally I don't do a lot. People don't associate me with touchy-feely stuff because I'm giving them information and I'm, telling them. And honestly, like I don't really do a lot of emotional based stuff.
Yeah.
But I do value personal development, and so I want to get to the point where I have personal development retreats.
Yeah,
people can do some personal development because I've done a ton of personal development myself.
Yeah,
and I know that it's required to actually succeed in business.
Yes, it is.
So,
and I'm sure that Erica's program is going to include that.
I'm excited. Am I allowed to be excited?
Yes, you are allowed to be excited. Anybody else have any questions? I know some of you've been quiet over there. I got Angela on the line here.
Tracy, what you over there doing?
Gail, Christine, Tracy. Come on, ladies. What do you have to say about the program before we get to our last piece here tonight, so we can get everybody, to bed on the East Coast?
No, I ain't going to bed. I'm going to find the money and get my butt in the glass.
That's right. That's right. Who else is joining Eve?
I definitely am going to look at my spreadsheet. That's
what I'm going to do. Your spreadsheet, Felicia.
Oh my gosh, you are just like, I love you. Like you just.
I know. She's all about spreadsheets. I love her too.
I do. It's like I even meal plan with spreadsheets. I love it.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, we need to talk. Yep, you.
Yeah, we need to talk about that one.
All right, so what I'm going to do, we're going to get on over to the next here piece because I don't want to hold everybody here, but let's get to the drawing. So you all have to thank my husband, but he's not going to show his face because he just doesn't like to be on camera. But he cut up all these names for you. They're all tiny little names cut up. He did it all for me.
I didn't know you were going to do a drawing like that.
Yeah. Yeah, we're doing an actual drawing. I wanted it to be organic and like old school. It makes it more fun like this. So I'm just going to fix it up right now. So I've taken all the names. We've got everybody on that last scoreboard. I put them in here. Well, my husband put them in here. And then I'm going to draw one name, and that will be the person that wins the scholarship, okay? And then the rest of you got to book in. $11 a day, okay? Come on. I know somebody can find $11 a day. All right. Who's going to give me a drum roll? Drum roll. I'm all nervous. I'm nervous.
Why are you nervous? All right.
He's like,
all right, here we go. Whew. I don't know what name is going to be. Melissa!
Yeah.
What? Melissa Gather? Nice.
And she's on the line today too. Can you see her name?
She is.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Melissa.
Congratulations. That's just confirmation that I am supposed to be in that group because I was already, Felicia, I don't have a spreadsheet, but I was mentally calculating something.
Well, congratulations, Melissa. You will be part of the 4-month mastermind, and I'll announce it to the rest of the ladies on the group. So that means the rest of you, $11 a day, okay? The cart is open until Saturday, all right? You got until Saturday to get your coins together, okay? And lock in. This is going to be an unbelievable 4-month program. I promise you. Like I said, it's going to be very, very, very diverse with information and experts, and not just experts of the people that I've hired to bring on, but the people that's in the group. Okay, you all are experts too. Okay, you all are expert of something, and you're going to be able to shine light to the other women in the group. So this is going to be such a beautiful sisterhood. It's going to be an opportunity to shine. And I'm glad that Miss Eve brought up the retreat, because I was going to surprise y'all and let you know that I wanted to do a retreat with only the women that's in the group. So we all meet up together somewhere in 2018. We're going to come together. It's going to be a girls' night out. We're going to get all dressed up, down, have some drinks together. And then she's going to be trying to count it on her doggone spreadsheet.
Of course. And the earlier I know about it, the better I can plan for it.
But it's going to be phenomenal. So don't leave Melissa hanging, okay? Don't leave her by herself. Don't have her come in this group by herself. She needs 14, 15 more of you to come in with her, all right? I'm going to start promoting it out to the group. I'm going to let them know $11 per day. All right. That's Starbucks. And that's like going to whatever you go to. You can do this. I promise you. There's been times when I booked when coaches and such in the years in the past, I had at one time, not even so proud of this, but at one time I had a negative bank account. And I was like, oh my God, I need this coaching so bad. I need this to move forward, to do this. And when I set my intentions on getting the money and getting it and filling it, even though I didn't have it, I had a negative bank account at this moment. It showed up. We had an unexpected payment in our checking account from our insurance group saying that they owed us this money. And it was exactly the money I needed. It was about $2 more. $2 more.
That's like law of attraction right there.
Yes. Yep. It's powerful, ladies. And that's what I'm going to teach you as well. I'm going to teach you how to bring in money. Bring in money. Work less, work less, bring in more. Okay. So that you can be unstoppable and you can bring in all the wealth that you need. So there's so many pillars to this 4-month program. So don't miss out on it because of money. Find the money. If there was something that was dire in your life that you had to find it, you'll find it. I'm telling you, there's so much power in our mind, but you can't firstly say, I don't have it. You got to first say, how can I get it? How can I get it? How can I get it? And then let God and the universe do the rest. All right, ladies. So I am so glad that you're here. Get your money together, and I'll put the link out. Tag the ones that's been on the call tonight. You can book tonight if you want to. Get locked in. Don't leave Melissa alone. You see how wonderful she is. Come with her. Join me. Join the 4 experts that's already booked. I booked these women, okay? Don't have me call these women up and be like, I don't have women in my group to do this, okay? Come on. You guys can do this. I know it, all right? So I will see you all on social media. I cannot wait to connect with you all more, and I hope you all have a great evening.
Thank you,
too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.